That's my piece of Scuba that I bought, that I rediscovered last year when I was tidying up. It's got black on the bottom, but isn't it gorgeous? So I really think I'm going to make I don't know, a dress or a skirt out of it. But we've been chatting about Scuba a little bit, and I wanted to give you a couple of tips about working with Scuba today. It's a great fabric. You can use it like a sort of bodycon type fabric, so you can make like we've made it before, a dress for you, Amy, didn't we? Made a lining out of the
lining in Scuba, yeah, like an internal shapewear.
This is a sample of Scuba here. So Scuba's quite stretchy. It's not stretchy like jersey, like some of the knit fabrics, but it's got quite a bit of stretch. So I always think, ideally, put a walking foot on when you're working with Scuba. This is a walking foot. When you're working with stretch or Scuba or boiled wool, then a walking foot is really useful. And I know they do those for all machines. That's the Janome one. And a walking foot has little teeth underneath that pull the fabric through from the top at the same speed as the feed dogs in the machine are pulling through from underneath. So if you've got a stretchy fabric, you won't find that one is being pulled through quicker than the other if you use a walking foot. So I would suggest a walking foot when you're working with Scuba. I'd also suggest using, well, you can try a Microtex needle, but you might want to use a stretch needle when you're working with Scuba, just because of the stretch, just to avoid getting skip stitches. One of the good things about Scuba is it doesn't fray, so you can choose a project that has got a raw edge if you want to. You could make the raw edge coat out of Scuba. That looks really nice. The Makes Atelier raw edge coat looks really good. And also the sort of pull-on skirts look great in Scuba. You can do things that are a little bit more architectural as well. You can do things that hold their shape, like skater skirts with a nice wavy skirt. It doesn't press very well. So what I was going to do, I'm just going to quickly stitch a seam on this actually. I've only got a small sample here, so I'm not going to put the walking foot on, just for this little small bit. But when you're doing your garments, you will put a walking foot on, otherwise you'll find that it will just slip. Just going to stitch a quick seam. And you'll see that this doesn't press very well. You can do it with a clapper and all sorts of things, and it doesn't press. So I would suggest doing a top stitch down each side, or a zigzag stitch over the top. So what I quite like to do is choose the triple zigzag stitch, which is number 8 on these machines here, which is the one that does 3 stitches up and 3 stitches down. So that's quite a good decorative stitch, and I'm just going to select that. I didn't check the number then, it was number 8, wasn't it? Just going to make the stitch a bit bigger. So when you're doing it, obviously again, you'd have your walking foot on, do it from the right side, centre your foot down the middle, and then zigzag. I'm probably not going to go straight because I'm looking at a funny angle. There we go, zigzag over your seam. And you can use a contrast thread or a matching thread. I made a nice bomber jacket out of Scuba, and it worked really well with this nice zigzag over the top. And then you take your scissors and trim off the excess on the back. You see, I've got a bit wonky because I was trying to sew around the camera. Yes. But this is a really good way of just controlling your seam allowances and then trimming them off. They don't fray, so you haven't got to worry about the fraying of it. And doing a top stitch, any of the decorative stitches would look really nice over the top actually. Or just hold those seam allowances in place.